As you said, you are not from this background, cloud computing. We'll have to start with very basic. Do you know something about your from your side? What is cloud computing?
No.
Okay. So actually everything around you nowadays, whatever you are doing, whatever you are using, one and another way it is related with cloud computing, because if some companies are still not using the technologies or services of cloud, still they are having some physical setup in their companies, they are migrating to the cloud. Why they are migrating to the cloud? What is cloud? How cloud is being helpful for them? There are so many things. Some startups are there that are not capable to move because, let's say AWS, let's say Azure is from Microsoft, VMware is from VMware, GCP is the Google Cloud from Google. So these companies which are providing the services, actually they are having some more money and prices and payment scenarios as well. So some of the startups, they cannot bear that cost. That's why they are still struggling with the physical data centers. Now, what is data center, right? And why actually people use data center and they want to move to the cloud? What is cloud? After data center, whatever the problems were there, so people search this technology and now they are completely relying on it. How it is saving your money and time both? So many questions are there. Okay, so I will tell you in one line. Cloud computing is nothing virtual availability of computer system resources, power management resources. You can pay for what you use. And because I'm saying virtual availability, anytime you can have a machine, anytime you can have storage available, anytime you can have any of the computer resource available virtually. Now you can give me an answer. You know, you have File Explorer in your normal laptop. In that, you would be having C drive, D drive, or whatever memory you have in your system. According to that, division and partition of the drives would be there. That you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if suddenly I'm saying your storage is completely filled and now you need some more extra memory or storage, so what you would do? You cannot add in that way extra memory to your laptop. Either you will have to go for hardware, or if your laptop memory is expandable, you'll have to take it to the shop if you don't know the process, and then it would take some time. So physically these things are not that available. Second thing, money expenses is so high. If you are searching for 30 GB extra storage, but you can't find a hard disk of 30 GB in the market, so most probably you would purchase a hard disk of 1 terabyte around, thinking that later on it can be used. Now, if I am working on Windows operating system, I have so many options, but suddenly I want complete Ubuntu is Linux operating system in my laptop, and I want whole memory to be used for that as well, and I want Windows as well. What can I do? Okay. Second thing, for example, I'm having a company. My company use or works for website. Okay, means I create the website. You are the customer. You can come to me and you can say, Aditi, please create a website for me, and management, availability of the website, traffic on the website, everything will be handled by you. So I will say, okay, no problem. Let me know. So which kind of website or whatever feature you want. You are saying that I want a website just like Amazon, because Amazon is a shopping site. My company also is for like this commercial purposes. So I want people to purchase online from my shop. So I want that kind of website. Okay. So what I did, I created a website. Now I am helping it out with physical server. Physical server means physical machine setup, physical memory, physical machine, everything means this is called data center or this is called server on premises. On premises means within my company I have physical machine setup, no cloud here. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm managing your website with my on-premises data center or on-premises machines. Suddenly traffic on your website increased. That time I don't have that much of setup or increase the memory or CPU from my side. CPU load increased due to traffic on your website. So what I would do, actually, I will tell you one thing. Setting up of a physical data center is a very time-taking process. Maybe 5 to 6 months it take talking to the vendor, fixing the machines and the parts, installation. It's a very long process. So um, suddenly CPU load is so high, and uh, it's not possible for me to having extra setup that time when I came to know okay traffic is more. So it what will happen um, for for some users or for some customers for some time website will not load. It would show error. It can show loading like that. But do you
Mm.
think so? If some shopping website you are purchasing something today and tomorrow it's not opening, so as a customer you will be pissed off. You will think okay I lost my money. It's not reliable, right? So it's not
Mm-hmm.
good. Now the necessity is that as I came to know, or not me, the process should be automated. As the system comes to know traffic is more, they should increase the resources. As they see traffic is less, they should decrease the resources. Because if traffic is less, working with so many resources which are not being used, it's not necessary. Like it's not needed because you are paying, right?
Mm.
For all these things, what they did, the companies like Amazon, the companies like Microsoft Azure, the companies like VMware, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, what they did when this your data center virtual availability came into picture, so they created their own platform and they offered you the services to use by them, that come here, create your server, I would be helping you out with my own data center. Now I have some question, we can start presentation later. Let's go to understand some scenario how these data centers are available virtually. So I'm not creating a complete picture of data center here, just for your understanding. I can say data centers are like hall type of structure where they are having a setup of machines, CPUs, memories, router, switches, network like that. These data center earlier they used to have inside company, that is called on premises, when there was no cloud.
Mm.
Nowadays, these data centers still exist. The companies like Amazon, or I can say AWS, what they are doing, they are having their own data center located over the world, over different reasons. They created a platform virtually that is called AWS console. So many services are available there on that console, creation of a server, creation of storage, and everything. So customer can create account on AWS. They can choose a reason. Let's say I'm choosing a reason there high. So what this AWS will do, it will contact to the data center of Ohio, its own data center. That customer is there, they want to use this machine. So I mean to say I'm in India. but I'm choosing a Ohio region on AWS account, and I'm saying, please give me a server of this specification. AWS will reach out to the Ohio data center of its own and give me this server available here on AWS account. And I can pay for whatever time I'm using this server here on the console. Question one more. Earlier, I'm saying data center is a physical setup, and suddenly when I'm in need, it cannot increase the resources. Second thing, I'm saying data centers are not reliable because due to any natural problem, fires or rain or something is happening, data center can be lost and I can lose my data. So here, when these things were physical, I was having so many problems. When these things are virtual, so what is actually here? AWS, Azure, these are the third party and they are providing me virtually. But they are also relying on data center availability only, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So these problems are still there. What if the data center in Ohio goes down? Whatever the AWS has data center in Ohio region, it's going down. So on the console, I will lost my machine and I will lost my data as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when the thing is not available physically, how can it they make me available virtually?
Mm-hmm.
So still this is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they created high availability architecture first and then they started working. Okay, high availability architecture. How they are working with this high availability architecture. So they also know that if they are having only one data center in some reason and that is going down, then customer will feel a downtime, and that is the same problem on premises, that is the same problem virtual. So what is the need of cloud then? Isn't it? So what they did, they created high availability architecture. High availability architecture, I will give you example with two countries. Let's say India and here USA. They are having so many reasons in so many countries, but I'm giving you example of two countries here, India and USA. So they call this level of country as geography.
They call the country geography.
No, for example, they don't call country a geography, but in the architecture, when I'm talking about a complete separate country, sorry. So that particular, I can say India is a geography for them. USA is another geography, and Europe and other countries they are working with. So that is complete separate geography for them. Okay.
For them means who?
For the companies that are creating this architecture for themselves, if it is for Azure, if it is for AWS, for same availability architecture, they are working on same architecture now. But AWS is having data center in different regions and different number of data centers they are having. Azure, they are having maybe different countries, different reasons, different number of data centers, depends how they are working. I
Mm.
will tell you. Inside India, they are having reasons. So, one reason South India, one reason North India, one reason West India, like this. Inside USA, also, they are having reasons: East US, West US, Central US. Okay, so this is called reason. This level is called geography. This level is called reason. Now let's say inside South India, what they are thinking, they are creating three data centers. I'm not saying there are three data centers because there are not, but just for an example, Let's say they are having 3 data center here. So this is called availability zone or data center, or because of having multiple data center, this is called high availability. Now, what will happen? As I said, actually Ohio comes in East US and East US has 3 data centers. That is for sure. That is a actually they have three. West US they have 6 data centers. Central I'm not sure, maybe two.
Are you sure Ohio comes under East?
East US, yeah, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Okay, so here high availability architecture they created in some way that there should be multiple data center. That is the exact thing. Now, if you want to replicate the data just to have a backup, if you want to share the data, so you can, as a customer, and they will allow you this facility, you can easily replicate the data over the data centers in the same region. You can replicate the data within multiple regions as well. But to replicate the data or to share the data over the geography, it depends upon the country's relationship. If countries are not allowing to share or replicate data over each other because they are not having the friendly relationship, then in that case, companies cannot do anything. They cannot allow you. Understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Every country has their own rule. Maybe inside their regions or inside the continents, inside that whatever countries comes, they want to have replica of data over those countries only. So it happens. Maybe Asia countries are having good relationship, and European countries they are having only relationship with European countries. They don't want to share the data or replicate the data with other continents or America or something like that. So in that case, this facility will not be available. So I cannot say that customer easily replicate the data over the geography, but customer easily can replicate the data within the regions or inside region within multiple data centers. Now, if any one data center is going down, still you will be having availability just like a customer on AWS or Azure. Now, according, because you are using it, you are the user of the service, so you should see how many data center are there inside a region present, and then only you should go for your services. For example, if some region is having only one data center, so don't go with that, because now there is less reliability there, and there are some reasons they're still having one data center. They're working on it. AWS, Azure, they're working on it. So all total over the world, AWS is having around 22 to 23 data centers. Azure is having around 56. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still, services and availability of AWS are on top. They are having very less downtime over the year as compared to other companies. So Amazon is on top. Microsoft is on second rank in cloud services, and Google is at third place. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. This is still here understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, I will share back. So these are the topic of this presentation: introduction of cloud computing history, essentials, architecture. So there are two models of cloud computing: service and deployment model. Virtualization is the base actually of cloud computing, because I'm using the word everywhere, virtualization. So within the laptop setup, how they are providing that this is my laptop, this is using Windows operating system. Over this Windows operating system, I can have AWS account and I can have multiple machines, virtual machines over it, and having different operating system working as well. So how these laptops and these machines and the OS settings they created to support this thing. So we'll have to understand virtualization, the base of cloud. Okay. So here it is nothing. I normally create this presentation. I didn't create actually. I found this presentation on from the purpose of giving training of AWS, DevOps, GCP, everything. So this slide basically is for saying that when you are understanding the concept of cloud, when you're understanding the introduction of cloud, it is not for one particular company or cloud providing service company, Amazon. It is for all. For all means, obviously, if somebody is going for the training of Azure, but cloud computing basic would be same. If somebody is going
Mhm.
for GCP training, but cloud introduction would be same. So this presentation is basically for if you're learning this basic, you can go for any other train and like any training. Okay.
Mhm.
So I guess I will have to put a charger. Okay, but I will continue. Okay. So what is cloud computing? First line only you can see, as I said earlier to you, it is virtual availability of the data center. So earlier what happened, or not only for the availability reason. Earlier there was a problem. If I am in India, I will have to use data center nearby me when there was no cloud and no virtual availability. Do you think so I can use Ohio data center by sitting in India? How can it be available for me if it is not virtual? Soumya, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if
Well,
the
I understood your question. That's not possible.
yeah, it's not possible, right? So earlier, not only the reliability problem, there were so many problems. Um, for example, just for example, that India is having so much electricity cost. Okay, and I'm seeing that if I'm using the resources from India, I'm having a very extra bill that should not be there. And I'm seeing Bangladesh and some countries, they are having so less electricity bill, electricity cost. And there, if I'm using the resources from such countries which are having less cost of this setup, I want to use the resources from those countries. But because they are not virtually available and I am physically located in India, I cannot use those services. That is one problem, right? But because of the companies like Amazon, now it's not that big issue. I can go and create account over AWS. I can check the pricing of different reason. I can their pricing calculator is there, so I can put that. I will show you later on, but I can put that. I can choose a region, Ohio or Virginia or California or Dallas, Texas, whatever, and I can go with the resources that I want this resource. What would be the cost for 1 month or for 1 year? And I can check there. When I'm okay with the pricing of particular country, then only I can start using the services from that region. It's upon me. And I can check the data centers as well, availability zones as well. If some region is having only one, I won't go with that because later on it would be a problem for me. It would be a problem for Amazon as well. They could not allow me to have a backups or something like that. So as a customer, I am having full flexibility now. Only you should have internet connection. Generally, cloud resources may be limited to single organization. Yeah. Now there are so many things. If I'm having my own organization and some resources I'm developing, so maybe they can be private to me or to my company persons. So I will let you know what is public, private, enterprise, and community and hybrid clouds are, how they are separated with each other. They are the types of cloud comes under service model. Yeah. Cloud providers typically use pay as you go subscription. Yes. So if you are aware that for an year you want to use the services, go and have a subscription. Better. If you are not sure, you're thinking sometime maybe it's needed, sometime I don't want to use. You can go pay as you go with. How pay as you go works? From the name, it can suggest you. You can use the resource, you can pay for it. That time. Terms cloud computing was popularized with AWS releasing its Elastic Compute Cloud product in 2006. So, why actually it is called cloud computing? These actually Amazon started this concept in 2002 only, but later on it one service came into picture that is called elastic compute cloud. Why? Because there is flexibility. You can create a machine with some resources. Whenever you want to decrease the resources inside the machine, maybe CPU, maybe memory, maybe any other thing, you can do that. If you want to increase, you can do that. So they name that service as EC2, elastic cloud compute. uh, from that time, this technology became famous as cloud computing. That's why this is the name. Gartner is a company which normally gives you, which makes the comparison, which do the compare, and it gives you the graph on the particular real scenarios, and you can completely rely on it. So it gives you the graph over the performance of different companies, over the situation, over the conditions of different countries. So Gartner observed that organizations are now switching from company owned hardware to the and software asset to per use service based model. Means it basically means, actually this is the fact, companies are now migrating from on premises to cloud. So many MNCs in India, for example Bosch, you know Bosch.
Yeah.
Yeah, when there was no cloud, every company was having their own setup, physical setup of data center, own physical on premises setup. But now all the companies are having connection, or they are using these platforms. So Bosch is normally using Azure for everything. So obviously they would be paying some heavy subscription over the year. So they are relying on Azure. I'm not sure which company MNC are completely relying on AWS. So there are, okay, IBM is having IBM Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not using any other service. So they are using that only. Infosys, TCS, these are the MNCs here and over the world, and they are using the cloud services, particularly from one um, company like this, either Amazon or Azure. Now, I cannot compare why some companies are going with AWS and why some companies are going with Azure. Uh, my own company, they are basically working with cloud only. So basically, my company is for security purposes. So we are providing security over all the clouds, AWS also, Azure also, VMware also. So we work with all.
Hey, who's this? The other person on our call?
Let me to check. No, no, nobody. Leave it. Okay. Actually, after this session on the same link they used for another one, so that is. So leave it,
Mm.
no problem for that. So yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So where I was, yeah. So basically, there is their own decision of the companies where they want to migrate. They have their own decisions. They have their own reliability issues, why they are relying on AWS, why they are relying on Azure. But actually saying these two companies are performing very well on the services providing. If I'm saying AWS is having less downtime, so I can say Azure is so fast. No cloud services, no company are providing that fast cloud services as Azure. So they are having their own pros and cons. So MNCs can easily shift their all burden to some companies like Amazon or Azure, but still some startups are struggling. They don't have that much to pay whatever Amazon and Azure are charging. So maybe what they are using, they are using for some purposes their own physical data centers on premises server, and for some services that cannot be handled by them, they are using Amazon or Azure. So this is how partly they are using, but they have to migrate because there is so heavy management when you are using such things on premises. For example, Netflix. What do you think? So they are showing you videos, web series every day, uploading new things. So if they are having physical setup for this, how many hard disk and how many physical storage they will keep in a room, and if they are keeping also, after a period of time there would be having a so much hectic task for them for the management of those storages, isn't it?
Mhm.
So they need some unlimited storage with management as well. So they are using Amazon S3
What is an Amazon S3?
storage service. That is unlimited storage. Just you need to pay. So as I said you, some basic services are coming into picture in this theory part. Let's say server, storage, this practical lab I'll give you just to have an idea. In examination, nobody is going to ask you the practical things here. Basically in practitioner exam. But 2, 3 labs I told that should be given. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So this is the history. In 1960 and 90, there was some supercomputers and Salesforce, but actually that was the initialization or beginning of cloud computing. But 2002 Amazon Web Services came into picture and they took this concept into picture of cloud computing exactly that it is looking today. Then they also developed. By that time
Mhm.
that was very initial point, maybe they were with the very less services. Then they started growing. In 2006 S3 they and S2 service, EC2 services, kind of services they launched that are heavily being used today. In 2008 and 9 Azure and GCP came into picture, similarly like Amazon. So Amazon is the oldest one. So you are going for practitioner exam. It is complete theory. You should know very basic words and terminologies as well. And I would recommend you to learn from your side as well. Okay, as much as you can read. Essentials of cloud computing is nothing. I will tell you one thing. You should have laptop or mobile. You should have internet connection. Okay. And basically this is on demand service. Okay.
Okay.
Mm, I don't know why my Zoom is pinging me. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it is on demand self service. On demand self service means, uh, okay, obviously, it is on demand, isn't it? You can go, you can create an account, and you can choose your specifications and specified resources, and you can create the machines, you can create the storage, whatever you want, and you can pay for what you are using. Most time of the time these services have predefined list of capacity. This is there. I'll have to show you the portal, otherwise these things won't be clear. For now, you can think cloud computing is virtual availability of the resources. Those resources were earlier they used to physically used on premises or depending upon the nearest data center. Nowadays also picture is same, only the thing is the same thing you are using virtually, and these companies like Amazon and Azure are helping you out. You can just pay them and they can manage everything for you, and they are having their own data centers, and because of reliability problem they are going with high availability architecture. Now if I'm not talking about cloud, if I'm talking about basically AWS, cloud is common, but AWS is a particular thing. So if I'm talking about only AWS, it is also having two, three more architectures personally with their own terminologies. One is management architecture, one is data architecture. Okay, how they are managing, on what level they are managing, and data architecture, whatever, how many number of storage they have, what all other separate storage performing, what kind of task, where they are having so many storage. We can work with one storage, isn't it? One storage service, but they are having so many storage services, and they are having the reasons as well. So these many things we'll have to understand. So okay, let's wrap up for today. I
Mm-hmm.
hope so that I gave you enough information and it was not waste of your time. And
Yeah, but this is
mhm,
not completed, right? So whoever is starting tomorrow will start over or continue from here.
if you want this complete presentation, I'll finish for you.
No,
Then
no, no, that would take forever. This is completely too long,
no, no,
right?
it's not like that. It's not, it would not take forever because today I started. That's why I took so much of the time here in first presentation, first slide. That is nothing is written
No, no,
here.
no.
Mhm.
I get it. I'm just asking. So whoever is coming tomorrow, what will they do?
Obviously, they will have to follow the same path. First of all, we'll have to take you, or he will have to take you over the all the slides of basic cloud computing. Then after that, you'll have to be given architecture of AWS, as I said, management architecture and data center architecture and data architecture. Three more architectures. Okay, that would be the flow. After that, two, three.
See, this is exactly why I need that syllabus or to for me to understand what I'm learning. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's all pretty random in my head. If
Mhm,
I had the path of what is being taught, that would
mhm.
help me. That's why I've
Sure,
been asking for the syllabus. I mean,
sure,
I don't
sure.
understand why it is so hard for
No, it
you
is
and
not hard.
also the management that I'm talking to send me an email
Mhm.
explaining exactly what that syllabus is going
I
to
will,
be.
I will give you, I will give you. Don't worry. From today, it would be all on track. Okay, everything is
Okay.
clear in my head at least now that what I need to do. So, and I'm having so many years of experience basically in the training field. So I know how I can explain the person according to their experience. And sometime some
See, that's exactly why I joined. Because I had the demo with you, not with this whole random person that's going to show up tomorrow. What if I
mhm,
don't like it? You know what I
mhm,
mean?
I
Like,
can understand.
That's where the confusion is, because had I been told, okay, this person is not going to continue, I wouldn't have signed up for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because how am I supposed to know how what the person that's coming tomorrow, how he or she is going to do this?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I can
That is
understand.
the whole idea of having a demo session, is to see if the person that is training is somebody th- that makes sense, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm understanding. That's why I'm saying. For some days I'll join the session,
Okay.
and yeah, that's why. Okay,
Okay.
no problem. So we are good. I will give you a path. I can understand from which level to what level you can understand. Okay, because the technology is new for you, might be right.
Mm.
No problem. And practitioner is the foundation level of examination. It's really easy, completely theory. You just need to understand the concepts. So the flow should be, and there are only 4 modules, very small modules, easily can be finished in 2 weeks of time.
Okay.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
give you a path. Yeah,
Yeah, please do email me the recording as well.
yeah. Recording I will give you.
Well, please do it right away, because I don't want to keep on waiting for it.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank right away, I cannot. This will convert into MP4, then upload time. So maybe 1.5 hour
Okay.
I'll upload.
Whatever it is I meant today.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Uh-huh. Bye.